My question is about the Affordable Care Act, which right now is at record levels of public approval. It is so popular that President Trump deprioritized it as a campaign issue. You have previously and repeatedly expressed your disapproval of the Affordable Care Act. And my question for you is, if you're so intent on replacing the Affordable Care Act, what would you replace it with? And how can you ensure that the 32 million people who are insured as a result of the Affordable Care Act would not go back to the status quo that they had before, which is to be uninsured? And how does that concept align with your moral ethical system in which the government may be libertarian in some regards, but would willingly essentially allow these people to die?
Right. So I think well, so first of all, I think that saying willingly allow these people to die is rigging the game. So let's not do that. Nobody wants, can we start with this premise? Nobody would like people to die. Can we start with that? I don't think people who like the Affordable Care Act want people to die, and I don't think people who don't like the Affordable Care Act want people to die. I think that's a fair thing to say. And then it's a question of what is the best public policy to achieve the following goals, right? You want to achieve affordability, universality, and quality. And the truth is that historically speaking, you can have basically two of the three. You can't have all three. Very, very difficult to achieve universality, affordability, and also quality. Now, I do think that there are better systems than the United States' system just on a raw level. In terms of providing a universal standard of healthcare that also is somewhat affordable. So I would take, for example, Switzerland has a pretty good healthcare system that does involve the idea of private insurance being bought by individuals. Same thing is true of Singapore. There are a bunch of different models. The New York Times actually had a very interesting study of sort of various models. And the United States came in somewhere in the middle of the pack. It wasn't like bottom of the, like we're very good at treating cancer and we're not so good at ERs, right? Because we're overloaded at the ER level. Whereas, if you are, in different systems, there's a reason people come here for specialized surgery, for example, and there's a reason why every drug is basically developed here in the United States, and that's the free market part of the system.